Hi everyone.
And welcome to Sociology Today.
Today we're going to talk about economic crises.
An economic crisis is a situation in which a country's economy deteriorates severely. It's often caused by financial crisis, but you might be asking, what is financial crisis? A financial crisis is when some financial assets suddenly lose a large part of their national value. Economic crises are expressed by the devaluation, rise in unemployment, poverty, and inflation, which is not a feeling you get when you've eaten too much.
You can think that an economic crisis is when the economy cracks. And Mexico ain't falling down a stranger that we had some crises that we have experienced.
We have experienced the 1976 crisis, where the peso went from 12.50 pesos per dollar to 24.75. The 1982 oil crisis, where it went from 20 to 70. The 1986 crisis, where it became astonishing 450 pesos per dollar. And the 1994 crisis, where we saw inflation across the board, but the most recent one was the 2008 financial crisis.
The 2009 crisis originated in the USA and it was caused by the collapse of the housing market. What happened is that a bubble surrounded the housing industry. A bubble is when the prices of a specific product soars because of overexcitement or hype. So what happened is that house prices were rising. When you get a mortgage at a bank, that bank usually sells that mortgage to a third party. And since house prices were rising, a lot of people wanted to buy mortgages. So the banks, to keep up with all that demand, they started giving mortgages to people that weren't as likely to pay them back. So bubbles have this fun thing that they do, and that is that they pop, and this bubble did. Since people couldn't pay for their mortgages, there were a lot of new houses in the market and no one to buy them. So that means that all the people that bought all those mortgages has suddenly lost huge amounts of money and everyone suffered in consequence. Since everyone lost money, that means that there weren't enough money to go around. So that means people weren't buying stuff, furthering damaging the economy.
How did the Great Recession affect Mexico? Now you might be thinking, what do I care if the USA economy collapses? Oh, you should care. You should be very much, because our economy is heavily supported on the neighbor's economy. Mexico has to ask for the biggest loan in history, a loan for $47 million, billion as is. A million millions, 47 of a million millions. Not only that we lost foreign investments, billions of jobs, and our important goods were not given consumed.
Economic crises also affect the social inequality because the most affected by these are the middle and the lower class, and the big corporations are too big to fail. Small business closes and millions of jobs are lost.
So, remember people, before buying some important pants, think on your country, think on Mexico, buy local, and remember to always your